It was a cold Friday morning. Very cold. I think it was 30 degrees. I had to get out of bed because I had to catch a flight. I had touched my alarm like 5 times. So the time I got out of bed, I was supposed to be on my way to the airport. That was how I began Friday, the Friday called Black Friday. I thought that was the end of my drama until I got to the airport. I managed to park my car and get my checked-in bag checked in, got back into the car and went to the parking lot. That's when the drama began. You see, the parking lot that I go to, the shuttle comes to pick you up and brings you back to the airport terminal. In my haste to be on time for my departure, my flight was supposed to leave at 6 o'clock, which meant we were boarding at 5:20. This was 4:50 a.m. in the morning. Hopped into the shuttle and got to the airport. I tipped the driver like I always do, wished him well, and walked into the building. For some reason, and I'm grateful for whatever reason that was, I decided to check for my phone. I usually get printed boarding passes and don't even use my phone to check in. But that day I checked for my phone. Oh my God. Do you know where my phone was? In the car, on the parking lot. Here it was 5 o'clock. I had 20 minutes to board my flight. It was so early in the morning, there were no vehicles that were going to the parking lot because no planes was arriving at that time in Little Rock Airport. Then I panicked. But in my panic, I had an assurance that I was getting on that flight to Atlanta on my way to Philadelphia. You see, I was going to Philadelphia to celebrate my friends. They had been married 35 years. I couldn't even make it to 35. I did only, 15, and I checked out. That's story for another day. The husband was turning 60. I'm 62. But what was intriguing is they have 3 sons. And they had so many losses. My youngest son is 25. And we were pregnant together. Me and my friends were pregnant together 25 years ago. But she lost the pregnancy. That is after having several doctors report that she was going menopausal. Yet she was younger than I. So I had to be in Philadelphia to celebrate the goodness of God in their lives. But alas, that morning, the phone, the only way I could get an Uber ride from the airport, the only way that Delta can tell me what changes on notifications was in the car, in the parking lot in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was about to board the flight. As I walked up and to and from, it dawned on me I have to ask for help. Mind you, I do not like asking for help. It's a weakness of mine, and I've recognized it as a weakness I have to change. Matter of fact, I need to ask you for help. I coach men and women especially in healthcare, especially physicians, to live their best life. But I don't ask you to refer me to someone because I just feel I don't want to inconvenience anyone. But I'm asking you, if you don't need me to coach you or mentor you, do you know someone that I should know that I don't know but you know? I'm asking you. Why? Because that day I learned a great lesson. I decided I needed someone who would be kind enough to drop me off to go get my phone, and I'll figure the rest from there. I only wanted them to drop me off, and I'll figure how I get back to the airport. But when I tapped on that first window, scared as I was, I held in my hand the card that they give you to tell you where your car was. My car was in row 11, and they gave me a card that indicated such. When I showed her the card and I explained to her, hey, I need your help. I am so sorry to bother you this early morning. I need your help to be able to get into my car, to get my cell phone, because my cell phone is what I need to get an Uber when I get to Philadelphia. I am so sorry. I forgot it. And I have no way of going back to the parking lot. Would you be kind enough to drop me off? She said, sure, get in. Then I hesitated. It only was the second. And guess what I did? I jumped in the car with my suitcase, my carry-on, and my backpack. And we headed to the parking garage. On getting to the parking garage, she had to pull a ticket. I was panicking. Oh, do we have to pay for that? I didn't realize that if you go in and out of a parking garage less than an hour or maybe less than 30 minutes, you don't pay nothing. Anyway, she took me straight to my car. When I got to the car, guess what? I couldn't find the phone. I thought the phone was in the console. And then I panicked. Then I remembered, same time as I panicked. Do you know where the phone was? On the passenger seat. Grabbed the phone, locked the car, jumped in, and the girl is like, I'll take you back. Allison from Utah. I love you. And I'm grateful to have met you, because at 5 a.m. in the morning, you see me, I had this hat on. I had a t-shirt and a jacket. I had my earrings somewhere else. So this is how I looked. If you didn't know me, you could think I was a guy. And plus it was dark. And I had pants on and a shirt and a jacket. So I had nothing, no lipstick, nothing. She could have assumed I was not a female. She could have assumed I was going to hurt her or harm her. And I could have assumed the same. However, for some reason, she believed me, and I believed she would help me. Why am I telling you this story? Here's the moral. You have not because you ask not. Did I get my phone? Yes. We were supposed to board at 5:20. When I got to the airport, I have TSA, which means I get cleared quicker. When I got cleared, when I got to my gate, the moment I hit my gate, they started boarding. It was 5:35. Remember, we were supposed to board at 5:20. You are always on time. That's my number one lesson I learned. You have to ask for help, because without it, you can't get stuff done. There's no way I could have gotten to my car. No way. Even if I walked, it would have taken me 30 minutes to get to my car and 30 minutes to get back. The plane would have long gone. But I asked for help from a complete stranger, because I had the need and I knew somebody would say yes. Imagine my shock when the first person I asked said yes. What is the thing that you need to ask for help for that you're hesitating? If I didn't ask for help, I wouldn't have gotten help. If I had flown without the phone, I wouldn't have been able to get an Uber when I got to Philadelphia airport. Let me explain this to you, girls and boys, women. We need each other. That's my greatest lesson. That woman was kind enough to allow me space in her vehicle so that I did not miss my flight, as well as I got my phone. What do you think I do with my phone now? I make sure I check for where my phone is, especially when I'm leaving a place, because now I recognize the power of the phone. Yes, you can call it distraction, but without that phone, I don't know how my journey would have been. That's why I'm making this video. To encourage you, ask for help. Because if you don't, you won't get the help you need. That's number one. Number two, be fully convinced that that person can help you, because it helps that person make a decision fast. I was convinced the lady would help me, and even if she didn't, I knew that with the conviction I had, I would convince someone to help me. But it so happened it was the first one, which was amazing. The other thing I learned is that I needed to have been specific and tell the problem and tell the person how they can be my solution to my problem. Because she didn't know she could be my solution. If I just told her my problem and didn't tell her what I needed her to do, it was just telling a story without a call to action. My call to action is, can you please drop me off so I can get my phone? And not only did she drop me off, she went above and beyond. She brought me back to the airport, the terminal. I also learned that I've been afraid to ask for a lot of things because I judge people thinking, no, they can't help me. No, they don't want to be bothered. But people are willing and able to help. If you look at the narrative, I live in Arkansas, which means I'm the what? Less than 5%. And that day, Allison from Utah, the reason I know she's from Utah, she told me when we were talking. She's been in Little Rock, Arkansas for less than 5 years. She heard my accent. She saw my color. She didn't judge me. All she saw was another human being needing help, and she could give the help. Who do you need to become so you can be that human being that sees those that need help and can give it? Who do you need to become to be that human being who accepts help for their need whenever the help is available? Who are you becoming when you ask? Do you ask in faith or do you ask doubting? Let me tell you something. I am so grateful for Allison from Utah, who helped me that cold Black Friday morning of 2023. I was beaming and I was excited when I got to the plane. And amazingly, someone asked me if I wanted to move from the window seat to the aisle. And I said, no, thank you. Until I recognized that this gentleman who was sitting in the aisle seat with me was talking to a lady in the aisle seat in front of him. So I asked, sir, is this your wife? He said, yes. And I said, would you like to sit next to her? He said, sure. As I said, in light of what someone has done for me, I need to pay it forward. And you do the same. So I said to the lady, you can come over and sit next to your husband. And I'm going to sit in your seat. And we're even. Why am I telling this story? If Allison hadn't helped me, I don't think I would have been perceptive to help that man that day. But in my gratitude to God for bringing Allison into my life at a time that I didn't even know I needed Allison, and she helped me, because nothing would have helped me that day but for someone to take me to my car, and she did. And not only that, she went above and beyond and brought me back to the airport. Please listen to this video again and make your call to action either that you help someone in need as much as your power, or ask for help from someone for your need, so that we can rejoice together. If you like this video, share, subscribe to my channel, and let me know your comments below. Thank you again. It's a wonderful day. Good night.